All right, here he is.
Styles gonna give you jewels. You can't talk about yourself, B. He gonna give you backpack. He gonna give you a gangster. He gonna give you a backpack that got the 48 laws of power in it, and it got a 9 in it with some fruit in it.
With some fruit in it.
I mean, he can flip on. He go gangster. Nah, right or wrong.
Right? Hell yeah, hell yeah.
Gangster backpack. Backpack got a mean book in it.
Yeah.
Some mean fruit.
And a 9 and some fruit.
I mean, how is it just as 3 men that this friendship has maintained through 25 years? Then, you know, there's always ups and downs with anything. So I mean, 25 years is a long time.
I think people should start asking, why isn't that the norm? Like,
Sure.
it shouldn't be. That should be the question, instead of kind of it's just being who we are. Like, we just being ourselves, and that's part of what comes along with us being ourselves. You should ask the other people who don't have it, why isn't it that way? Should be the question, not why is it. That mean the other way should be common. I don't think backstabbing should be common. Like, you know what I mean?
P, the world is so used to all these groups breaking up and not talking to each other, and they only got 1 member left and all that. So, you know, crazy.
Well, rock and roll groups break up a lot more. Hip hop groups tend to not break up so much, right? Like,
I disagree with you on that, my brother. Almost every group in the world. What you tell me which group didn't break up almost?
Well, I'm thinking about, let's see. I'm thinking about, you know, EPMD. They still rock.
Broke up.
They broke up. Yeah.
When did they break up?
Now they're cool, but they broke up.
Yeah, they broke up before, brother. Yeah.
De La Soul still together.
That's true.
Tribe broke up, but I think about, I mean, who else? I mean, NWA had their problems, but I mean, the Wu-Tang.
No buts. Just say
keep going. See, all of them. They don't
keep going. They did.
I think about who else is a hot group. I mean,
Public Enemy, you name it, bro. They all went through it.
Public Enemy about to release another album.
Now, but I'm saying we never had none of that dumb shit.
Right. Kiss, welcome. What's really good?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
How are you? Nice to see you again.
Likewise.
We were just talking about MCing and stuff. I'm just curious about how you guys write. Do you write pen and paper? You write into your phone? You write on the mic as you're listening to the beat? How do you come up with it?
Well, me, I use the paper. Yeah, I use the paper and I write it down all day long, throw it away, write a new one, all that. Yeah.
So you have a book full of rhymes?
Yeah, I got pages of them. I started throwing them away now, but for the most part, yeah.
So you write it before you hear the beat?
No, not at all. Nah, I sit there with it and just write down my thoughts as I'm going for, like, you know, it may take me an hour to get my verse or whatever. Who knows? Yeah, or faster.
Kiss, what about you?
Sometimes in the phone, sometimes off the head. I mean, not off the head, but just logging it in my brain.
Sheek, how do you write?
Styles? Yeah.
Styles, how do you write?
No, right. I don't write.
With that shit. I never seen him with a pen and pad.
I don't write, but mine is not really how my brother's giving me credit and all of that. It's not really. I have an offbeat, on-beat flow, always did since I was younger, and I was always on the move. So it was just easier for me to not write than actually write. I really wish I could write. I probably would have more work done, but I am writing, but just without the pen and pad. I pretty much do what a person would do with an essay, is just kind of memorize it. So I just memorize my own essay.
Nah, that shit is crazy though. Yo, I'll swear he's on the couch. I'll swear he's on the couch sleeping, right? But he's not. He'll wake up with his whole fucking song ready to record. I'm like, oh shit, you was going over your shit in your head? Crazy.
That's how you do it, just in your head, just kind of zoning out?
Pretty much.
Yep.
That's incredible. That's incredible. I want to hear about why you love MCing, because you clearly do. You've been doing it since you guys were like 12, right?
Yeah.
So what do you love about this craft?
I would say, for one, that like as we started to blow up, the fans. I know it sounds generic, but the fans really fuel everything. When they appreciate that line, that work you just did is like, oh man, I got to give them more. You want to keep feeding them. But you know, it started from the Run DMCs, the Cool G raps, and all that, bro.
Yeah, for me, it's hearing something that the minute I hear it, it makes me want to go to the studio. Whether it's something from my two brothers, Nas, old, big, something old, some of these new cats. You know what I mean? Certain things that just fuel me to make me just want to keep creating. And as well, the fans, Louch already said that. Of course, the fans, if somebody comes up to you and tell you you made a song that made them get through a 10, 12-year jail sentence, or there's a single mother that came up to me a few months back before COVID when I was shooting for something for the Knicks in Harlem. She had like 3 or 4 daughters, and they came up. She was crying, and she was telling them, "No, this is the guy who made that song." So stuff like that, you know, just makes you want to keep going.
Real deal.
When somebody tells you that your music helped them get through something, that's got to be an incredible feeling.
Absolutely.
Definitely. One of the most better than getting a big check most times.
Most times.
Gotta keep it real.
Styles, what about you? What do you love about MCing?
Combination of what they just both told you, and being able to make something from nothing. Really, like the process of just having a thought, hearing the beat, and then later it for it be a song that a fan could appreciate, you know, is pretty much an amazing kind of thing, especially when people really feel it, or you know, you touch them in a way. So that's really, really dope.
I mean, it's been like 20 years since y'all were first really blowing up. How have you developed and gotten better as MCs over that time? How are you different as an MC now than you were when you were first blowing up?
I think for one, we own a studio together. So, and we're always in there from Monday through Friday, unless we're doing shows on the weekend when the world was open. So, for one, basketball players become gym rats. Those become the best players in the league. For artists and producers, the more you stay in the studio and the more you do it, the better you get at it. We've been doing it for 20 plus years, the same routine, unless we on tour, unless it's some type of family vacation or something with our kids or something, emergency. We just in the studio, whether we doing features, songs for ourselves, songs for somebody, freestyles, just the repetitiveness is built-in repetitiveness where you're getting better with time because you keep doing it. It's like a bike rider's that wheelie. When you keep doing it for years, you become, you know, you go from a BMX, now you're on a 400cc Kawasaki doing blocks for riding from Yonkers to Harlem on one wheel. So, you know what I mean? The more you do it, the better you get at it.
He talks about the sports analogy, Sheek. Like think about like when Jordan was younger, he was always driving to the basket, right? He gets older.
Then when he got the turnaround, it seemed like he started scoring easier when he got the turnaround opposed to them dunks. So it just feels the same way with this for me.
Well, what is that for you as an MC? You know what I mean? Like how does that play out for you?
To make it easier for us?
Well, just to develop as a grown man MC, like you know, like I said,
incorporating. We started spilling. If you hear our lyrics now, we started spilling like life stuff, like talking about our kids and our lyrics and all that, man. You know, one of the easier things for me was not writing these long ass verses. Now you can write like 12 bars and then back to the hook. You know, so it kind of got easier as far as that point. You know what I mean? Before it was long 16s and 38 bars and 24s. Now you can kind of like, you know, these people don't want to hear you all day long. Certain records, but not all the time.
I like the intensity of the longer verses, right?
Yeah,
like
that's because that's where we come from.
Yeah, you're from that same era.
Yeah.
But then when they changed you know, when the digital wave came to the music industry, they needed more projects faster. So we call it microwave music. You know what I mean? Where if you can give them 1 million projects in a year, they'll take them opposed to before where for you to get a Lox album or Nas album or Big album or J album, it took a period of time because they were made on top of the stove and properly seasoned and properly simmered and sauteed, where now the climate is music, you know, the time span is fickle and the listening span is shorter, so they want more music and faster, so that's taking away the substance and the quality of just like sending one email to 100 people and then by the last person who get it is not going to be the same texture, and that's what's really happening with music.
Funky Floor plus one more had a 15-minute song, dog. Run DMC and them had like, they had like, I listened to Temptations the other day, bro. They had a
you could drive all the way to Jersey off Rockbox. Deep Jersey.
Yes.
Crazy.
But it sounds like you're also talking about the amount of time that the artist has to work on the record.
Somewhat.
And you had more time back in the day.
Yeah.
No, you got as much time as you want.
That much time as you want.
You got much time as you want. You can't have people forcing you into a box of what you want to do, but just to fit into the thing, you know, if you want to fit in with the algorithm of what's happening today, you study the format of what's happening because you understand, although four of us gentlemen are older and like older hip-hops, the younger people and how the radio works, the song is on for 2 minutes and 30 seconds, if that. So with that being said, you don't want to shortchange yourself as a business person, so you want to make your songs formatted right, like, you know what I mean, as well as putting out projects because, you got to keep putting them out because that's the algorithm of today.